Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's house of cards is beginning to fall. Deals are drying up. Their popularity is at an all-time low, and people are getting fed up with their pretentious fake royal tours. Rumor has it that Netflix is ready to give them the old heave-ho. Can Harry and Meghan turn this around in their make or break it year in 2025, or will this be the end of their Megxit dreams and arch-royal empire? You guys, we have a lot of juicy royal daily tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the royal daily tea. Hello and welcome to the Royal Daily Tea. If you're new here, hi, my name is Michelle and we discuss all things royal with a side of facts and humor. I also have another YouTube channel, Royal Daily Tea History and Fashion, where we discuss royals from around the world, fashion, and other interesting topics. So if you'd like to check out my other YouTube channel, be sure to check out the link listed in the description. Now we just hit 36,000 subscribers and we are well on our way to hitting my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you like today's content and you have not yet subscribed, I hope you will consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Now let's get into today's video. Now let's all jump in our DeLoreans and go back to March of 2020, back to the big Hollywood movie era where people had mega million dollars to spend, and it was like the Oprah Winfrey show, and you get a deal, and you get a deal, and you get a deal. Harry and Meghan were flying high right off that freedom flight when they arrived in Hollywood as the new media darlings, and people were lining up with these huge checks. They got deals with Netflix, Spotify, and Penguin Random House. It was like Harry and Meghan couldn't do anything wrong. Now, 4.5 years later, we all know that everything that glitters is not gold. Spotify got out of their contract in June of 2023 after Meghan and Harry failed to deliver what they promised, and they underwhelmed and underperformed, and quite frankly, weren't worth the money, where they were labeled effing grifters, pretty much telling anyone and everyone in Hollywood, don't waste your time and don't waste your money because you're not going to get a return on your investment. Harry and Meghan are not worth it. That was a huge blow to their brand and reputation. You have to remember, it took Meghan 2.5 years to finally produce 8 subpar episodes of her now defunct Archetype podcast. And let's just say Spotify told Meghan, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, sister. They let everyone know they were lazy grifters, and they still have not taken back that statement, which I absolutely love about Spotify. Now, in December of 2022, Harry and Meghan debuted their mockumentary, The Harry and Meghan Show, which actually debuted at a record-breaking 81.6 million watch hours, and for the time it was a record buster. It was considered a hit. However, after around the 4th episode, that quickly started to fall. Viewership started to slide as millions of viewers lost interest and the series lost traction by the time the 6th episode aired. Now, take into account people like David Beckham. When his show came out in October of 2023, they had over 208.5 million watched hours in just the first 2 months alone. Now, the reason why the Harry and Meghan documentary started to take a complete nosedive was that it failed to connect with viewers, and they realized this was nothing more than a privileged pity party. It was a continuation of the Oprah Winfrey show. They just added 5 more hours of the same whine fest. People could not get over the fact that Harry and Meghan were whining once again. So the only way that Harry and Meghan could halfway interest people was by whining about their life as royals. So many people tuned out very, very quickly, and they started to turn people off. Now, since then, Harry and Meghan have done the Heart of Invictus, Live to Lead, which quickly bombed. So that is not good news for Harry and Meghan or for Netflix. Now, in March of 2025, that is when their contract is up for renewal. And rumor is that Harry and Meghan will not be renewed. So here's a really interesting side note to kind of add on to the fact that Harry and Meghan are in big trouble. In my opinion, Harry and Meghan bit off more than they could chew, and people are starting to realize, again, they underdeliver and underperform. They really have no business in show business. They have absolutely no experience, especially when it comes to creative projects. Now, if you remember, back in June of 2023, it was announced that Netflix bought the rights to the book Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and that Harry and Meghan were going to serve as the executive producers on the film. Well, now, over a year later, that project, you guys, is collecting dust. There has been absolutely no movement at all on that project, but the same author, Carly Fortune, has just sold a second book called Every Year After, but this time she went to their competitors and she sold it to Amazon. That makes me wonder, she must not be very happy with the fact that Netflix handed her book off to Harry and Meghan, and it's been sitting there for a year with absolutely no movement forward. Now, the second book is going to be written for screen by Layla Gerstein, who is a very seasoned executive producer and writer. She has worked on a lot of projects like The Handmaid's Tale and The Heart of Dixie. But what I find extremely interesting is that Layla Gerstein is represented by WME. So I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. Carly Fortune sells her second book to a competitor for Netflix over to Amazon. They already have a seasoned executive producer and screenwriter attached who's represented by WME. Well, isn't Meghan Markle represented by WME? And yet her project has been sitting there with no writer, no director, nothing for over a year. That to me says, oops, they made a mistake. And that is why she sold her book to Amazon. So if I was Carly, I would be extremely pissed off that my book has been sitting there for a year under Harry and Meghan. Again, I do believe that Netflix is going to take back the book and turn it into a film with someone else, because Harry and Meghan clearly have absolutely no creative talent to run a movie. Again, they're off doing these fake royal tours. When do they have time to make a movie? Now, we know that Netflix has not been happy with Harry and Meghan, even though they won't say they're not happy with Harry and Meghan, but I think we all see the writing on the wall. I do believe they will produce Meghan Markle's cooking show that's coming out in the spring of 2025. Perhaps they might do the polo show, even though I do feel the polo show is going to fall by the wayside, just like Live to Lead and their other Invictus games. But I do believe that the cooking show could have a dismal amount of ratings. Maybe the first couple of episodes might do pretty well. You have to remember there's a lot of hate watchers out there. But again, I do believe their contract is going to expire in March, April of 2025. So what does that mean for Harry and Meghan when they lose Spotify, when they lose Netflix? Let's not forget Penguin Random House signed a 4-book deal, and as of today, they only produced 1 book. Rumor has it they haven't made a profit on his book Spare. Now, we all know he has those 500 pages that people were thinking was going to be in a paperback version, but rumor on the street is that Prince Harry doesn't want to continue to attack his family because he might want to go back to the royal fold. So I don't know what's going to happen with Harry and Meghan if all of their mega deals go bust. In my opinion, this is very dangerous territory for the royal family, because if Harry and Meghan lose everything, the only thing they have left is to go back to the drawing board and start attacking the royal family. But I do believe their audience of people who care what they have to say has definitely gotten smaller and smaller. Now, the last part is, of course, why are they doing all of these fake quasi-royal tours? Well, rumor on the street is they're trying to turn all of these trips to Colombia and Nigeria into a documentary, because they really think that people care to see Harry and Meghan walking around in these countries pretending to be royal. But I can guarantee you Netflix is probably not going to purchase these mockumentaries. Rumor on the street is they're trying to shop with Paramount and Hulu, but it's yet to be seen if anyone wants to keep investing millions of dollars in Harry and Meghan, because quite frankly, they are not worth the money. So what do you guys think? Do you think Harry and Meghan are going to make or break it in 2025? Or do you believe their empire is going to implode? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.